The Barrett's two-story home was on fire.
Hey guys, 6-year-old girl and a 23-year-old male missing in the house somewhere. What do you got? 6-year-old female and a 22-year-old male possibly inside.
This is Miracles in the News.
Welcome back to Miracles in the News. Let me start out by saying that we've seen a lot of miracle stories, and we've definitely seen enough to know that not all heroes wear capes, right?
That reminds me of the Dwight Schrute episode on The Office when he's like, don't call me a hero. The real heroes are the guys who go to work every day to their normal jobs, and then they take off their glasses and they put on their capes and they fly around saving people. Those are the real heroes.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Yeah,
I love
well,
Dwight.
as we know, that's
Those
definitely
aren't the real
not the real
heroes.
heroes. No, we've met a lot of really heroic people.
Yeah.
And the hero in this story actually wore a pizza delivery uniform. And as you know, pizza delivery drivers are heroes. just by the fact that they bring us pizza.
Yeah, my kids definitely think of pizza delivery guys as heroes for sure.
Yeah, when they bring you that insulated box and they like pull out the pizza and that smell hits you and it's like, oh my gosh. Okay, sorry, I digress. We're way off track. But back to our story, Nick Bostic was a pizza delivery driver. He was a 24-year-old. He lived in Lafayette, Indiana. And in some ways, he was a really unlikely hero because he was going through some really hard times, like financially, and he had just been sober for just a couple of months. He'd just gotten off of meth, actually. And technically, he wasn't wearing his pizza delivery uniform this night because he'd gotten off of work and was at home with his girlfriend. And as the night progressed, he and his girlfriend got into an argument over something silly, but Nick was frustrated and decided to go out for a drive and, just to clear his head. And he decided to leave his cell phone at home.
So like no destination, just driving.
Yeah, just driving around randomly. And meanwhile, David and Tiara Barrett were out for a date night, and they had left their kids home with their 18-year-old daughter, Sienna, to watch them. And Nick happened to drive down the Barrett street, past their house, and he caught sight of something out of his car window. The Barrett's two-story home was on fire.
Oh man, it's like, why does it always happen when the parents aren't home?
Right?
Like that is one of my biggest fears, something like this happening when I'm not home. And it always happens.
I know. And obviously the parents had no idea that their kids were in a burning home by themselves. And when Nick saw this, he didn't know what to do. Like he had, unfortunately, as we said, left his cell phone at home, so he couldn't call 911.
Of course.
So he saw a car coming down the road. He ran to the car, tried to flag down the driver, and the driver just kept going.
Oh my gosh. Well, obviously they didn't see the fire. They would have stopped. But
yeah, that's what I assume. But I don't know. Like for some reason, the driver didn't stop. So he just was like stuck there by himself. And he said at that point, he was scared to run into the house, but he thought about what his father would do in that situation. And he thought, my dad would run into this house. And so that's what he did. He ran straight towards the fire.
It's a day that would change Nicholas's life. The 25-year-old was driving home when he saw the flames, quickly running in to help.
I went in through the back door, and the second step up the staircase is when I seen the faces coming out, and they ran past me, and I followed behind, and at the back porch, I was asking them if there's anybody left in the house.
Wow, I was like expecting it to be just like a little bit of smoke. If you've seen the video, it's like a massive fire.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the house was in flames. Yeah.
Okay, so he said there's people coming out. Like 3 people are coming out.
Well, actually 4, because it was 3 of the Barrett's daughters and one of their friends that was spending the night. So Nick helped guide these girls out of the house. And then standing there on the back porch, he asked if there was anyone else left in the house. And he got a terrifying answer. The kids told him that 6-year-old Kaylani was still inside. So yeah. Without hesitation, Nick ran back into the house and began searching desperately for this little girl.
Part of the way up the steps, he could actually feel the heat coming up the steps as he was at the top of the steps on the second floor. So he went ahead and pulled his shirt up over his face to protect him from the smoke, closed his eyes, and he went down and he basically followed the voice of the 6-year-old that he was able to find on the floor. He was afraid of getting lost and being in the smoke. So he remembered that there was a window on the second floor bedroom that he had been in.
Okay, so he has the girl now.
Yeah.
And he's in a house he's never been in before, doesn't know the layout, has to try to find an escape. It's terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah. So the choice he faced was he could either go back and get lost in the smoke, possibly, or he could try to get out this second story window with a 6-year-old in his arms. So he and the little girl were getting burned already from all the sparks coming off of the fire. And he had to make this decision so quickly. So let's just pause for one moment. And I want to ask you, what would you do?
I don't know. Are there fire trucks there yet?
No. Well, they're on their way. They're almost there. They're just arriving.
I would probably just try to open the window and try to climb onto the roof and see if they could come bring a ladder or something.
Yeah, he didn't have time to figure out how to open the window, and there was nothing to climb out onto. So he just punched through the window and jumped with Kaylani in his arms.
At that point, the only way out was through a window.
We looked at the window and I went shoulders first through it. I landed on my right side with her on my left side.
Oh my gosh, I'm like picturing this in slow motion, like one of those action movies where they're jumping away from an explosion and it's like just in the nick of time.
It probably felt that way because, yeah, what he did was insane. So the firemen arrived on scene just as Nick jumped out. So there's actually body cam footage, like right when Nick lands on the ground with this little girl. And I think they said he was a 23-year-old man, but Nick was actually 25. But anyway, he flew out of the window. He used his body to cushion little Kaylani's fall. And you can hear her crying. I'm sure it was a jolt to her poor little body. And you can hear Nick pleading with the fireman for oxygen. Like, this is pretty heart-stopping stuff.
Are you Xavier? Yes, everybody. Sit down. Need medic.
Come with me, man. Come with me. Come with me. We gotta get away from the house. Hey, we gotta get away from the house, okay?
Okay, baby. You're okay.
You can hear how much he is struggling to breathe from all the smoke in his lungs.
I know. And look, seriously, I have goosebumps right now. Like hearing that little girl crying and just, thinking about how scary that must have been for her. But also like, what a blessing that little girl was saved. And here's the part that really gets me. Nick has just leapt out of a 2-story house holding on to this little girl. He's been burned. He's having a hard time breathing. You can hear him like begging for oxygen. He has a bad cut on his arm, and obviously he's had a really hard fall and is in a lot of pain. And I want you to hear what he says next.
Is the baby okay? Please tell me that baby's okay. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, she's okay.
100%?
Yes, you're okay.
You did good, dude.
You did good, dude.
Yeah. Oh my
That'll
gosh.
do.
Yeah. It's amazing. And in case you didn't get that, he said, "Is the baby okay? Please tell me that baby's okay." He probably had no idea how old she was. Yeah. He just knew that he had saved this little child.
Well, clearly he cares way more about her than himself. I mean, he just fell out of a 2-story building.
Yeah.
And his first concern is this little girl.
Yeah. Yeah. He didn't know her name. He didn't know anything about the Barrett family. And yet he was willing to sacrifice everything to save those kids.
Oh my goodness. There are such amazing people in this world.
Oh yeah. So
what
true.
A good guy.
So what do you think, Emily? Is this a miracle?
Well, of course, this is definitely a miracle. I mean, if he'd gone down a different road, if he hadn't been paying attention, hadn't seen the fire, that little girl would not be alive.
Yeah.
It's such a miracle.
Yeah, I agree.
God was looking out for her.
And the fact that Nick was someone who is so courageous and willing to run into a burning house, like not everyone would do that. I mean, the other person that drove by, I don't know if they didn't see the house or what, but obviously they didn't stop.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Nick just went straight into that house and saved these kids.
It's amazing.
And Nick is also almost blind in one of his eyes, and yet he saw the fire and was able to go help these kids. So I think that's also part of the miracle.
Yeah, we say it almost every time, but right person, right place, right time.
Yep.
No coincidences.
Exactly. So another question for you, Emily. Do you think you would have run into that burning house?
Well, I hope I would. I mean, I don't know if anybody really can know for sure what you would do in a situation like this,
Right.
but I hope I would, but I don't know.
I know. I would love to think that I would too, but honestly, I don't know. I probably would have run to a neighbor's house to call 911 or something. I don't know
That's
what I
true.
would have done, but I don't know if I would have run into a house full of flames. And I don't know if I would have been there in time. You know what I mean? But Nick didn't even hesitate.
God was definitely looking out for little Kaylani.
He was. And I really feel like he was looking out for Nick too, because so much good has come out of this for Nick. Like, he says it has helped him to quit using hard drugs. And he and his girlfriend have actually gotten married now. They now have a son. And he's also been awarded the Carnegie Medal. And I loved what he said about how this has changed him.
It's made me a better man. It's taught me a role. As Uncle Ben would say in Spider-Man, great power comes great responsibility. And so as being looked up to by so many people, even ones that I'm not even aware of, I have a role to play in society. I can't be doing silly stuff like I used to.
Leave it to Spider-Man to give us the very best wisdom.
No, I love that.
But seriously, I love what he said about just like taking on this new responsibility of being a better person.
Yeah, I love that he's seeing himself
inspiring.
as a good man who is worth investing in himself, you know?
For sure.
And there's another hero that we still need to acknowledge in this story, because the Barrett's oldest daughter, Sienna, was also really brave and calm under pressure, and she helped lead those other children out as well. And I want you to hear what her dad said about her.
The officer told me about Nick and what he had done, and I started crying more. One of the most awful feelings to have that I wasn't there. Kaylani said, "Daddy, I was looking for you."
Sienna Barrett, the eldest daughter, led most of her younger siblings and their family friend to safety.
She is a hero to me, and she's always been.
I don't think of myself as a hero at all. That's just something you would just do.
The cause of the fire is currently under investigation. The family lost almost everything.
I can't imagine having to go through something like this at such a young age.
Oh, I know.
And I just keep thinking, like, Nick spared this family from having to go through a lifetime of sadness and guilt and grief.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have ended very differently.
Can you imagine if they'd all gotten out, but little Kaylani, what that would have done to that family?
So tragic.
Yeah, I'm so glad they don't have to go through that. And there was one last little miracle. When they walked through the burned remains of the house, the only thing left on the Barrett's wall was a little sign that said love.
On our wall in the living room, it was completely burnt down. The only thing that was left was love. And that's all I feel from everyone.
But the family says they did pick up a new family member.
God uses the most unlikely characters. He sent an angel.
Isn't that so sweet?
I love it. I love that they said that they consider him part of their family now.
I do too.
I think trauma really does bond you to people.
Yeah. The Barretts truly think of Nick as their angel, and they've become really close friends. And Nick is working on building a lawn care business. I think he's working maybe at a tire company now as well. And Nick, if you're listening to this, you have inspired us more than you know. So keep going, man.
I mean, there's so much negativity in the news, but I think the reality is there's just so much goodness in the world. And stories like this just remind you that people in general are very good.
Yeah, definitely. So many miracles. And if you've enjoyed this story, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure to leave us a review. And remember to look for ways and times when you can be an angel in someone else's life. Thank you for joining us. If you have a miracle to share, contact us at themiraclefiles.com or find us on Facebook.
We're now releasing multiple episodes each month, so subscribe on your favorite podcast platform and YouTube for amazing video content as well.
Join us next time as we discover more of God's miracles. And don't forget to look for His light in your own lives.